Coming at you live and very sad from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. I'm not doing the memes. We can't do the memes today. Everybody joining us. This is going to be a little bit different of a show. If you guys are listening on the podcast side and you're not a Kobe Bryant fan, one, I say what's wrong with you. Two, maybe this won't be for you. But, we debated whether or not to do a show this week. We figured it would be rough, and also knowing that today we go live on Tuesday. We record on Tuesdays. Today is supposed to be the Lakers and the Clippers playing one another in what would have been the first game after the bad. We weren't going to compete against that. We weren't going to take anything away from that. But now, with no game being played today, being postponed by the NBA, we figured, you know what, let's all get together and have an opportunity to kind of just talk. What did Kobe mean to us? All that kind of stuff. Being family, as it were. We're gonna hug it out. We're gonna be family and friends and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
When something like this hits, when it strikes out of nowhere, tragedy like this, and you're not expecting it, it's a lot different than when you're expecting somebody to go. People have compared this a lot to, Michael Jackson, and how in terms of the scale of how it affected people, but it was a little different in the sense that Michael Jackson, towards the end of his life, in and out of hospitals, obviously dealing with a lot of problems, and so in a way, you kind of saw it coming, if not.
He was out of the
years,
spotlight, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kobe was just.
He was sort of back in the spotlight. He was
a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit
he
back
was
and forth,
sort of creating his phase.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit different for me in the sense of yes, huge artist, yes, huge global impact, yes, huge name, but not nearly as sudden. And there's never been a moment in my life where I stopped and I didn't know what to do. There's never been a time in my life where I looked at a notification on my phone and couldn't think, couldn't speak to the people around me, couldn't understand what was happening. This was the first time in my life where I've been stopped dead in my tracks from a phone notification, and that's never happened. And I know a lot of you probably dealt with it the same way that I did, and that was to say, no, this is A, a hoax, B, wrong information.
How'd you hear about it?
So I'm not sure where you were. The way I explain it to people is this is a day that you never forget where you were when you found out, and I don't think I ever will. I was at church when I found out. I was I'm heavily involved in my church. We had just finished baptisms. Awesome, beautiful, great day. One of my buddies walks by me and he's running, and I kind of shouted out to him, "What's up?" And he just looks at me, turns around, and he's crying, and he says, "Check your phone." And he runs back out the back door. I'm not sure where he went. So I look, and that's when I start seeing everything flying through. I think before anything, I saw your tweet, and it says, "No way." It was just not Kobe. No way.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was, and from there it was just like I literally stopped, and I went into a room in the back and just sat down, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do now? It was just a very weird moment for me. I'm not sure where you were.
Yeah, I mean, I was in my chair where I do all my fancy Dodgers Nation business at home, and our friend of the show, Hamilton, he messages me on Facebook. We were talking for a minute, and he's like, "Did you see Kobe?" And I was like, "What? No, not Kobe." And then he sends me a link, and the website's down. I was like, "Okay, cool. They got hacked. They already pulled the website down. We're seeing our mind is already hacking ESPN. They're hacking Kike. They're hacking everybody. It's a weird time for the internet."
Yeah.
And so you keep doing the research. You have Twitter there, and everything is on Twitter immediately before anywhere. So you go looking around. You go trying to find the stuff, and it's like, no, this still can't be real. This is it's not Kobe. It's not Kobe's not one of these people. This couldn't be real. And then you start to read it was a helicopter this, and then you start to read these other bogus reports that I don't even want to touch on, and it just keeps unraveling throughout your day, and through all that, I'm just sitting there, I'm looking, I'm refreshing, I'm doing that, I'm searching this, have 20 tabs open, trying to see, like, this can't be real. Who has this? Who's the actual reputable source? And you know, when you see Woj, you know, has the tweet, it's like, okay, Woj isn't wrong on these kind of things. And it's like,
as soon as I saw him and Shams both talking about it, I was like, this is real. This is real.
I didn't move.
Real?
I didn't move from my chair. Not because I'm a lazy ass, but I did not move from my chair.
Also because
I'm a lazy ass and had some work to do. We had finished Fan Fest the day before. You know, Gary and I, we had a lot of stuff to try to catch up on. But you know, you read this news and you start digging into it, and it's like, there's no work today. There's no nothing. This is, you know, so many things. Like I mean, there's so many reasons to be upset with the media, obviously, for one, the way it was broken and all that kind of stuff, but two, also like the major networks, the major sporting networks, how long it took for anything to start happening, anything to start coming up. I mean, I had to go to awful CNN to start seeing anything that's a whisper of, hey, something bad might be going on. But yeah, to answer your question, I was at my house, in my room, in my fancy thinking working corner, and I did not move the entire day, pretty much.
Yeah, Gary, I don't know if you want to add where you were, what you were doing.
I mean, mine was, it was coming up at 10 o'clock, no, 11 o'clock. I don't know. It was a blur, but I was taking my son to his basketball game, and my son's team name is named Blue Mambas.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I walked into the basketball, not like right in front of the gym, people started coming up to me and telling me like Kobe's dead, and I was like, who reported it? They go, TMZ. I was like, yeah. Let me wait a bit. But then after that, I started getting texts after texts after texts. I mean, you guys know my Lakers background. I was like you. I mean, I don't handle death well. Yeah. I'll just straight up tell you this, and a lot of my friends know this. I'm horrible with death. You know, I will just shut down, and this goosebumpy buzz just went over my body, but I had to still be okay for the kids, because the kids had to play a basketball game.
Right.
Kobe, my son heard, oh, Kobe died. He didn't process it, right? Because he had a game. You know.
Got that Mamba mentality. That's why.
Yeah, I guess. But
it's game time, Dad.
Yeah, he was game time. I mean, he got top score, so that's cool. Yeah. You know, but the whole gym for that whole hour of the game, everybody's on the phone. Then you kind of just, then you see people for the next game walking in their Kobe jerseys, Laura Marion, all Lakered out, everything, and then it starts getting like really weird, and I still didn't know how to process it. You know, I think I grew up in a generation right before you, where, you know, Kobe was like, you're Jordan, you're Magic Johnson. Me, he was like somebody that I was like, dude, he's my age, and he's working hard, I'm going to work hard.
Yeah.
You know, I saw him when he was like 17, 18, 19, going to the gym every day. And when I was in college, I was like, I'm going to work hard too. When I get into real world, I'm going to work hard just like he does. So, you know, I have no excuses. Yeah. And it was a really good, he's like a good pace car for me.
For sure.
You know? And it's that's how I heard. And it's still weird to think about it all. I sat there after the game. We brought my son home from the game, and then I just watched TV for 4 hours, watched the news.
Yeah.
You know, and let it sink in. And to me, honestly, I'm sad for Kobe, but I'm sad for the city more so. Like, to see a city,
the city
this
hurts.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we get a unique perspective.
Yeah.
And we get to see so many people.
And of course, we're only talking about one aspect to start of you know, just an unspeakable tragedy that the more you unpeel it, it never stops getting worse.
Yeah. I mean, you just new little things every single day that just, it you know, it just makes it all the more heartbreaking. You know, we went through the whole thing about, you know, false reports on stuff coming out, and you didn't know who was on board with him, and you didn't know, not necessarily that anything makes it better or worse or anything like that. There's not really a better or worse in a scenario like that, but you go through a little bit of roller coasters when you're wondering who's on board and what the family's going through and who's involved. And so
just keeps going and going.
So when we finally got real information, we found out who it was, you finally get to cope with that part of it. You get to understand that, his daughter was on board and they were en route to a basketball game.
Yeah.
A basketball game.
At his camp, at his practice arena,
his thing. And so when you start finding that, you finally get to cope with it a little bit, and then you find out more information on the helicopter and the pilot and just how close they came to missing the hill, just to being safe. The more information you get, the more you're just like, this doesn't get better.
That's honestly why I'm not really reading a lot. I'm not watching a lot.
Oh, no,
I keep my distance.
I did it bad. Like, I dug into every little thing.
I did that all of yesterday, and today was the day I decided. I had a conversation with a buddy of mine this morning, and long text chain from probably the biggest Laker fan I know, maybe even on par with you, Gary. He long conversation where he was just like, I don't know what to do, so I just keep looking, and it just keeps making it worse. He's like, I keep hoping something's going to come out that makes me better. Yeah, and I'm like, that's why I said, I was like, you gotta back off. I'm gonna read you guys something, because this is something that I actually found on social media that was actually beneficial to me. So I'm gonna read this to you real quick. It's a little bit long, but that's okay. This is a reaction from one of my friend's friends. So when he found out, when we were talking back and forth about it, how terribly depressed we were about it, he was like, I found a little bit of solace in this, and I think you will too. He said, man, I've had family and friends and strangers text and DM asking if I'm okay. The answer is I don't know, because I don't know how this could happen. I don't know why GG and young teammates had to go through this. I don't know why his wife and kids have to go through this. I don't know how his friends play through this. I don't know how the Lakers move forward. I don't know what's a worthy enough tribute for him. I don't know how to tell my family how to console them, and I don't know why I have been so heartbroken about it all. But this morning I woke up and asked myself a very simple question. What would Kobe say if he was here? He'd say, hey, dog, this is life. It hurt a little. Get back up. Keep going till you can't go anymore. And when you think about it, that's what he showed us his entire career. To keep going until the final buzzer. Then you do it all over again the next game, even if it meant walking to the free throw line with a blown out Achilles, because there's no way in hell he was going to let anyone think that life got the best of him. So in my mind, he's not gone. He didn't lose. Time just ran out on the game clock. I'll see you at the next game.
Yeah.
Wait. I have a button for it.
I mean, it's the embodiment of the way that Kobe lived his life. And when you watch him go out like that, Gary, you were the first person I thought of when I thought of his daughter being on board with him. I was just like, man, that's really good. You start seeing the trend of the girl dad that
girl dad
everywhere.
that came out yesterday.
So when I see that,
Ellie, we were just talking about her before the show.
Ellie.
Yeah, she's an ESPN host, and she had brought up the idea.
Amazing
one of the
monologue.
Best, one of the Ellie Duncan.
Yeah.
So she had brought up the point, a story a long time ago about her meeting Kobe and them having daughters and how excited he was to have daughters. I'm sure you guys have seen the clip that's circulated a lot. But when I thought of that, Gary, I thought of you, because I see you posting with your daughter all the time on Facebook and stuff, and how excited you are to be a dad in general, not necessarily a girl dad, but
I thought not in the run of show, damn it.
Yeah. and
you can turn your camera off.
And I just couldn't. It's just too many things just connect back to you, Gary. And so that's and I thought of you in that moment as my friend, and I was just like, man, he's got to feel this, and I really feel for him in this situation, because I know I feel it. I don't have kids.
Yeah,
I have nieces, but I don't have kids.
It's such a weird feeling. I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I don't know how. I haven't talked to many parents about this. People were talking about how do you tell kids about death and all that stuff, and I'm not really there right now. I never really talked to Lucas about it. Lucas, Lucas, you guys know Lucas. Like he knew I was sad, and he was sad that I was sad.
Yeah,
he made a little tribute for Kobe, because he grew up on Kobe. I am so happy I was able to take him to one of Kobe's last games. He got to eat pizza and drink orange soda and watch Kobe nail like 3 or 4 threes in a row and watch the stadium just explode and chant MVP. And I saw my son there chanting MVP for his favorite player of all time. Even after Kobe retired, Lucas was telling people, oh, Kobe's my favorite player. And like, he's retired. And they're like, you got to move on. And you're like, no, he's still watching tape.
Yeah.
And now with, with Katie and everything, I think the thing I didn't really want to think about that, but the thing I thought about the worst was the last seconds with Kobe in the helicopter, what he must have done. I just think as a parent, what would I have said to Katie?
Yeah.
What would I have done? Jumping out the helicopter. I don't know what it was.
There's
so many scenarios, and you just think about what you would have done so that Kobe could be alive, and I don't know. That's the thing that hits home is like that he hits on so many different levels with like you grew up with him. He's your peer. He has similarities in family. He is he went through crazy criticism. He has all these haters, and this whole city stuck up for him for 20 years.
Yeah, a long time.
And I think that's the thing where it's pulled everybody together a bit.
And that's been, I would say, one of the most wild things with this whole thing. It's like, you had alluded to earlier, what is a death? What is a celebrity? What is a famous person, whatever they are? Who's the biggest, like, really in our lifetime, really ever, like we can go to a president or whatever it may be. I don't want to get into specifics about any particular deaths, but there's Prince and Michael, where both they were on the back nine. Kobe was just getting started on
his retirement life.
Yeah.
He was just getting started on hole 10. He stopped off for a piss and a fresh six pack in the
just
cooler
picked up
in the
an
back.
Academy Award real quick.
Return. Like in terms of just like world outpouring, and I think Brooke, you're probably a little too young for this, but Gary, you were right there in that Princess Diana era phase.
Princess Diana was crazy.
That was world altering, and this is the same type of thing.
The thing is, this is the first one with true social media.
Yes,
with
and that's
true
the
social
other
media.
thing.
Right.
Yeah,
with true content producers out there, with true a generation that grew up knowing how to express their feelings on a phone, just going like this, and then you really see the hurt. They know how to put it into however many characters. You're really seeing it. I think that's I don't know, it's good and bad, but you know what? It's nice that other people are feeling the same. And you can lean on them and talk to them and see, like, it feels good. You don't have to suppress it.
And again, the way we're doing this, we've already blown past, like, kind of the way we'd planned to structure this show.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to structure this show. We're not TV professionals here. We're human ass dudes trying to make it through pushing the buttons. It's just the three of us in this room. And, we're here not only trying to deal with this, but, run buttons and try to be as professional as we can. We want your guys' comments. We're going to dig into comments as many as we can. We kind of want to get through a little bit of, our side of it first before you guys make us sad. But I saw one that's kind of going in line with what you're saying. There's BD_chunks, which is just a beautiful name right now. How could I feel so much pain for someone I never met? It feels like I lost a loved one. And that's the biggest thing. Like
how did you do it?
You haven't seen this. You don't get. You don't even get this amount of text when grandpa dies, probably, from friends, family, all that kind of stuff. No, people you haven't talked to in months, years, weeks, whatever it may have been, you heard from them in some way, shape, or form. We got other people, one of our writers who, AJ on the guitar, he's right there in that same sort of boat as Gary. He has a daughter.
Young daughter. Yeah.
And he also has a dog named Kobe. He had mentioned here in the stream, I had to pull over just to deal with this. And like, as soon as I got to where I was going, I just, clutched my daughter and couldn't let her go. Yeah. And it's wild to see so much community, how something just so otherworldly tragic has brought people together in such a I don't know how to describe it. Wild way, crazy way. People don't care. They didn't care about the Grammys. They didn't care about the celebrities. People were there pushing on these gates just because they wanted to find some way to honor this guy they've never met. They've watched him on the TV. Most of us, whatever, we've had various levels of relationship with Kobe, and most of it is through the TV and through readings and whatever it may be. And then you start to get into the people that had an actual relationship. There's that. Well, actually, to kind of finish that side of it, I don't know if you guys happen to see that fan. I don't remember what network he was talking to, but there was some fan. I had a video clip.
It's the ABC kid. Yeah, with the AirPods in his ear.
Yeah.
That kid, I saw it live. That kid was real.
I called him Articulate Cholo. Like, that dude, nail, head, hit it. Like, he said it perfect. Whatever, you guys check it out on the internet. I forgot exactly how he said it, because, you try not to remember these things because they make you feel bad feels, but like we're talking about, Ellie, Duncan, Shaq. Shaq still popped on his, I don't know if it's a daily podcast, weekly, but he popped on his podcast. I'm pretty sure he hadn't moved from the couch.
Yep.
And they called him, and he has his helpers in the background. They're making dinner, whatever.
After that show today at halftime, it just sounds like I just heard a few clips, and you can just hear the regret. Mm-hmm. I think that's the one thing everybody in the world right now is, and hopefully people learn from this, is like those grudges are harsh. They waste a lot of time, and if it's really not that bad, they'll reach out if you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think of everything, this is to say that something good could come out of this is rough, and it's hard to gauge. But one thing that's been encouraging to me is to see how many people have taken this moment and said, I don't want to live knowing that somebody that I have a problem with or in an instant have one little beef with or anything like that, that they could be gone, and I'll never get the chance to make that up with them, and I'll never get the chance to make up that time with them. Yeah. So when I look at Kobe and Shaq, they've had their differences. They've had their, that over the years we've watched it kind of get squashed, and luckily, it's been televised, and we've got to watch the one-on-one with them and things like that. So, but that was one thing that I had seen that. I was pretty
surprised that he hasn't spoken to him since he retired the last game. That was honestly surprising.
When he's like, I haven't seen him
but seeing both of them, being a parent, I haven't, and some people here might relate. When you have kids, it's hard to keep your relationships with all your friends that you had before, life friends you had before.
Just as a normal parent.
Yeah.
But to be Shaq and Kobe, who have to do things literally, 10 media things a day.
They're getting pulled every which way.
Still after their career.
You also befriend the parents of your children's friends.
So you don't get to choose them. Whoever your kids become friends with.
Kind of, yeah. But you get to choose because, most likely the kids are friends because they have common...
Yeah.
A lot in common. Most likely that means the parents have things in common, so that's always a good thing. And it's just it's sad to see that Shaq and Kobe not communicate, but I guess they're not as close as everybody thinks they are, but
or as close as they want to make it.
But that's the whole lesson here, right? Shaq said there's a lot of years wasted. Wasted.
And you talk about hearing regret in his voice. I mean, the dude is pouring tears down his face.
He's all emotion. You know that.
He is.
Yeah.
So it's raw. And that's, this is 2 days later, him finally getting to talk about it in front of a camera. And it's like, look, there's a lot to regret. Of course there's a lot to regret.
Yeah, so. You guys had watched the Jay Williams stuff, after the fact. You saw it as it came up on social media or wherever it may have been, but watching that live, you have another person, and again, just one more weird sub layer level to this whole thing. It's like the people that Kobe had these relationships with, like the most random people, the most people that made sense for him to have a relationship with somebody like Jay Williams telling his stories and just being like, let that shit go on live ass TV, being like, I know I cursed, I don't care. Just let it go. You don't got to worry about that stuff. Call people. You're going to start to see beefs squashed, and I don't know. I'm not going to get into some sort of weird. Kobe is some sort of, I don't know, is it a martyr or something like that? him being, I don't know. He's going to change a lot.
Yeah,
we're already seeing that, and it's still we're
seeing it now. Let's be real about this.
We're seeing it now, and
we're going to see what happens in the next few weeks, in the next month. I mean, they said the memorial is going to be at the Coliseum probably.
For sure.
It
has to be.
And that, last time I was at Coliseum, it was for the Lakers celebration, the championship.
Yeah.
And I remember being there, and it is huge. That vibe you have is crazy. That is going to be a city changer, And the thing is, look, I've grown up watching a generation grow up with Kobe as their guy, it's been really nice. It's been really nice. People make fun of millennials all the time.
Yeah.
But like, you know, there's some kids here that have that mama mentality and they just work the hell. They work so hard and they just get it from Kobe. And then, you know, sometimes they have bad things that they have like from Kobe. Like I don't give whatever about whatever. You know, and then sometimes you're like, okay, you got it from Kobe. Yeah. But at least they're getting their stuff done. They're focused and they want to get things done.
Right.
So that's the thing. It's like he changed a city. People will. There's gonna be a book. There's gonna be a documentary. There's gonna be this analysis of what he did to this city.
Yeah.
And it's great. You know, we're Dodgers right now. Like he's Vin Scully. People, you know, give Vin Scully that same level. It's like he was part of our family. He gave us so many good memories. He gave us so many sad memories. He gave us so many, but he was there like family. Yeah. Kobe's that same kind of person. And I think, you know, that's going to be, I don't know. That's going to be the interesting thing to see what happens next.
That was another one of the, go ahead.
I was going to say I think you have it pulled up right now, but in that Ice Cube interview, like you talk about you know, there's so many different sides of it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I want to hit too. You talk about why it impacts you because last night I was talking to my wife about it because it had deeply affected me and it hurt my work day and I was really unproductive and I couldn't focus and I couldn't concentrate. I was so mad at myself for it. And I was so frustrated because I don't know Kobe Bryant. I don't know him. But he would have never, ever known me, ever. Even if he lived to be 100, he would have never known me. And so for me, I was just like, why? Why does this hurt me so much? Why does this hurt me more than family members that I've had pass away? Why? It's stupid. It's upsetting. And I was mad and I was just so frustrated by it. And she was just like, don't let other people tell you what you should and shouldn't feel about something. This is somebody that you grew up watching. This is something that you spent formative years admiring his work ethic. This is somebody who brought championships like to your city. That's something that you as a person care about. Sports are a different animal when you talk about the level of emotion and attachment that's involved in it. You know, I cried on the Derek Jeter commercial where he's retiring. I don't even like Derek Jeter, but I cried on that commercial. And so you forget that these guys that you grow up admiring, there's a reason why you're so attached to them. There's a role that they play in your life that you don't even realize that they're playing. And so for people, I've seen a lot of people in the stream that are like, I'm upset that I'm so upset. Like it doesn't make any sense. And Jason McClure, one of our writers, actually, he brings up a text chain or conversation with his dad. He says, "Dad, I'm crushed. I don't know why." His dad says, "I feel the same way. We love the Lakers and we love Kobe. Losing our heroes leaves a hole unlike any other. It's our childhoods, our soaring imaginations, those things we want in ourselves. Somehow they give us permission to be human. They're not perfect, though they're still our heroes. I love you, Jason." So that to me, I mean, that sums it up. Like they're not perfect. We get to see every single side of them. Obviously, Kobe came with his flaws. Like any other human, he came with his flaws. And, you know, Gary, you and I talked about it a little bit before. Just because you have flaws in your life doesn't mean you don't have chances to make up for them. And I, you know, for me, in conversations that I've had with friends, I think the best part of following Kobe's career was following the last couple of years of his career and into
watching
his retirement. His retirement, just watching the things that he did, watching him smile. He had already had such a huge impact on Los Angeles already. You know, championships, MVPs, whatever. Already such a huge impact. But then to go beyond that and to train up the next generation and to become that like I think of like the Pau Kobe dynamic, like the way that those two work together. He carried that over into the next generation of young players to take on all those young guys and to coach them and to walk with them and show them how to be an established veteran and how to play basketball on the biggest stage.
Yeah. He led by example. Like nobody else did a better job than he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, that's why it hurts, guys. And it's okay. Don't feel ashamed.
You know,
of
for
that.
the people who are like, you never met him, all that kind of stuff. It's like, just because he didn't show up to your family picnic doesn't mean he's not your family. If you live with this guy shows up, you know, in your living room every scheduled game. I don't care. That's family. The same way, you know now, especially for me and my old lady, you know, when it comes to Dodger season, we we plug in, we sit down, we enjoy watching the game, and we're like, oh, cool, Joe and Oral are here because they're family. We hear them, we see them on occasion, whatever it may be, and we watch them, do their thing and all that. But there's this family connection with these people, even if they're on TV. It's just, I don't know, we're human and we're stupid, but I'm going to try to pull up this cube thing. I think this will work.
The impact of Kobe on this city, I said it earlier in the show, it was him and the Hollywood sign. That's what you thought of with LA for the last 2 decades. What did he mean to people here?
People don't understand how much athlete like Kobe or Kareem or Shaq or Magic, how much they really hold this city together. This city has a lot of fault lines.
Right.
Not only in the ground, but with the people.
Yep.
And what brings us together is the love for our teams, our Lakers, Dodgers. Today I have no hate for the Clippers and the the Rams and the Chargers. All the teams that's here hold this city together because it gives us something, to unite behind. Where it's gang banging, it's economic differences, it's racial differences, and our teams hold us together. So, Kobe is some of the glue that holds LA together.
And like that was 100,000% true. I don't think anybody could have said something along those lines much better.
I think in that interview too, they kind of go on to say, Kobe's one of the few people that could go to any neighborhood in LA and be widely accepted with open arms and excitement. And I went even beyond that. I was like, Kobe could go into Boston and to be widely accepted into any neighborhood, despite the huge rivalry obviously Lakers and Celtics have had over the years. It's Kobe Bryant. Yeah, and I don't think you pass up on that chance to be like, oh my God, that's Kobe Bryant. I hated Barry Bonds, but I mean, even if he walked in, I'd still be excited.
Like, Cube got it right. I mean, sports, I grew up in LA all my life, and people ask me, yo, why'd you create Lakers Nation or why'd you create Dodgers Nation? And honestly, it's that opportunity to unite a city, because I went through Chick Hearn dying. That hurt a lot because Chick Hearn, took me to places to get away from a lot of personal stuff when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. I didn't have my grandfathers growing up. So listening to him teaching me basketball and all that kind of stuff, and then explaining to me all these things. And then one time I did go into a liquor store, and it's 5 different people of different backgrounds, all getting their stuff. But then someone mentioned the Lakers or came over the radios, and everybody crowded together and then started listening and then started talking. And then we all spent 30 minutes there just talking about the Lakers. And it is amazing what sports can do for LA. Mm-hmm. And we're blessed to have, such success with the Dodgers, and then Lakers have had such success. And this city is probably the most diverse city, one of the most diverse cities in the country. And we're spread apart, so it's really hard to bring us together.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So sure. Cube has it right. I mean, that's really one of the motivations for having Dodgers Nation is to, and most of the staff knows this, I love bringing people together. I love eating together. I love doing things together.
He loves eating together.
Yeah, I love eating together. So it's just it's great. And I think Kobe is one of those people that did that. Magic did it for us. Chick did it. Vin did it. The Dodgers have been doing it for the last 6, 7, 8 years, so it's great, and he hits it right there. And Kobe's just one of those people we need to celebrate.
2 things, when you mentioned Vin now twice, we're seeing the way 2020 is going here, Fam Squad. I'm just saying, we got to go find Vincent Scully, and we got to go find Thomas Lasorda, and we got to bubble wrap these dudes. Let's just be smart about this.
I don't think bubble wrap's Tommy's problem right now. I don't think that's the issue.
Just remember to appreciate them as much as you can right now.
For sure.
I think that's the thing. If you get to see Vin, thank him, and let him know how you feel. Don't hide. I think, these people know that they can change your life with just a smile. Or just a look, just a autograph, or anything like that. Don't be afraid to ask, And I think you're gonna regret not being able to say it because, I've met Kobe a couple times, just doing interviews and stuff like that, and it's just been it's been cool. But I never really, I have a pair of Kobe's in my closet. Like I have Kobe 4s in my closet that I got before I really wanted to start Lakers Nation, right? And my idea was that I was going to ask him to autograph those shoes. I had so many opportunities to ask him to autograph the shoes, but I just never could do it just because I have that hesitation.
Yeah.
So,
On that note, one of our friends, NBC LA reporter Michael Duarte, who's spent time here with us, even brought his dog. He was he penned a nice story over there on for NBC talking about, I took all this time to cover Kobe, but I can never man up and be like, hey, can I have a minute of your time just personally to say, thank you. You're the guy who kind of got me going on this career. And, I could see that. You could be around these people all the it took a few times for us to even get, for me to ask Ross Stripling for an autographed baseball, we could put on the set here before, or him coming in a few times and all that stuff. It's
No, I saw how you acted with Russell Martin. Like, I've seen it,
Good, nice friend of the show, Russell Martin. But, and the other point I wanted to bring up to kind of get back is we're talking about the LA connection, but you're also mentioning like Madison Square Garden and all that. You're seeing all of these cities that that had the love-hate relationship with Kobe. We hate you because you're good. Same thing, Jeter had that. We hate you because you're good. Clearly, he's a Hall of Famer. First ballot, all of the votes except for one for some stupid reason. But you see. MSG is lit up purple and gold. You see, streets in Houston. You're seeing places. You're seeing, the Sixers. They have his Lower Merion 33 on the floor at the court. Like, Kobe wasn't just L.A. Kobe was everywhere. You're seeing
China,
Philippines.
Look, I mean,
the
Lakers
soccer dude with the 2-4. Like
Philippines was the number 2 country for Lakers
Mm-hmm.
Nation. It was like the number 2 country, and like they are crazy for him. And I think one guy said on Sunday, "Wait until China and Philippines wake up."
That's what I had said on Sunday too. I was like, we were driving back home, and I was like, asked my wife, I was like, "Can you check what time it is in Hong Kong?" And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because it's about to go off." I was like,
It is.
And she's like, "It's 5:30 a.m. right now." And I was like, there's a lot of people who are about to be very sad right now.
Yeah.
There's no one like him in that aspect.
The reason they like him more than LeBron, and right now, I don't know whoever can argue with this, right? But he seemed more mortal. Like, he seemed like an everyday kind of guy.
LeBron's like a monster.
Yeah, dude, he's Superman. He was born with superpowers, right? Kobe just looks like a normal 6'6" guard who had to work his ass off to get to that point. And that's what, like, I know Chinese people, Asian people, a lot of Asian people across the board respect the hell out of that because,
for sure.
Asian people, they're not the biggest, they're not the strongest, they got to work the hardest, so then, like, I think that's where he really is up there. I didn't think he'd be that high, but if you had a Mount Rushmore of athletes in China, I'd argue he'd be in conversation,
For sure.
The funny thing, the funny relatable thing with that is, today I saw, the image of, Kobe going one-on-one against Yao Ming. You got Yao Ming's knee right in, like, Kobe's crotch, and Kobe's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm Kobe.
Man, I remember the dunk. Over Yao, his first dunk over Yao, going baseline and just yakking over him. It was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Just so good.
I had a joking conversation with my friend this morning where we were talking about, just everything, and I had mentioned the fact, I was like, I'm pretty sure when my grandma passed away, I didn't cry this much, which was a weird feeling for me personally. But then he
didn't have as many memories.
He had brought up the point. He's like, first of all, you don't have any memories. He's like, second of all, your grandma didn't dunk over Yao Ming. And I was like, that's a great point. That's excellent. So that, I mean, in the midst of all
to
this,
get in your heart, we gotta dunk on Yao Ming.
In the midst of all this, guys, you really gotta.
So the
gotta
only
find
way
the
to earn Brooke Me3's respect is
tears,
to dunk
tears
on Yao Ming.
I'll cry for you if you dunk.
Or
over
that,
Yao Ming. That's
respect enough to dunk. Scott Novak, I do want to point out, he says he will eat with us.
Dude,
thank you, Scott. We do appreciate
you
that.
Got to eat at least, though. If you don't eat enough,
you're
going to get a lot of, like, slack, But
Zed, our boy Zed, says, I cried when Chick died. Of course, I mean, Chick was something else, too. But that's another one of those guys, like, we had you. Now it's it's your turn to go entertain elsewhere, sort of thing.
Yo, silver lining here. I'm kind of glad no one else can just rip on him, and then he turns into a shell of himself, and then he gets older, and people just rip on him and tear him down. You know how it is these days. Everybody's gonna find
Brooke tells me down all the time.
every skeleton out of the closet and like trying to rip him down. But now he has a life that he earned.
One thing to note too is I've seen a lot of people thank us for doing this, because like I said at the start of this, we didn't want to do this. We weren't going to do this. We didn't know if we can handle doing this. Yeah. Thankfully, I know how to turn myself into as close as I can to a heartless robot, and still this is getting me enough. But to kind of bring it here to more Dodger-centric stuff, we think we've talked about all the other people who've had this relationship, but we also realize Kobe is LA, the Dodgers are LA, Lakers are LA, but Kobe had at least a small amount of connection with a lot of Dodgers, past, present, whatever it may be, and we see the Kershaw reaction, who has now another kid, a week old at most, something like that, 2 weeks old. Weeks, yeah. 3 kids with Kersh, another guy who if he really wanted to can just put LA in the palm of his hand and take us to I don't know, magical places, whatever, something more poetic than that. Turner talks about it like Turner's a guy who grew up in LA. He's not that much younger than Kobe. He's my age, all that kind of stuff. It's funny how often we talk about JT being old and broken. I can attest. I, too, am old and broken. But, you see JT, it's like I've met him once. He came into the locker room, but still you could just feel the presence. That's Kobe Bryant in your locker room. And, he was there. He was there for Game 4 of the World Series in 2018, the infamous, awful Rich Hill game. But we saw the images of the Puig home run, him being right there, him with Puig. Yeah. And you see Puig is
dude, we love that guy.
Puig is so hurting with this as well.
First thing he did when he came here was go to a Laker game. Mm-hmm. First thing he did was get a courtside seat.
I mean, that's hand. That he even talks about it. Like that's what he thought of when he thought of LA. He's like, I could sit, sit with celebrities, be courtside. Like that's what it's all. I mean, that's what you look at, like the music and entertainment side of things, like sitting courtside watching Kobe at Staples, like that's in like a lot of rap, like a lot of it, like that's the ideal, like that's how you know you made it, that's how you know in LA you made it, or in the Forum too. So when you think about that, like Nipsey has that famous song, it was like I'm with a model sitting courtside at Staples, and it's like when you cross over those two just huge LA icons, you're like, that was it. That's what this was about. Like this is the city of stars, and that is how you know you've made it, when you're sitting with those stars. So
I mean, there's athletes, and then there's celebrities. I think it's like even I don't even know, like Tom Hanks or Kobe. It's just not even. Still, even like it's not even the same.
It's different,
right?
It's different,
and then Kobe is just like he is the closest. I mean, athletes in the U.S. are the closest thing we have to like Greek mythology. And that's how we do it. That's the stories we tell.
You look at you look at like the stardom of like A-list actors. You look at big names like that. Obviously worldwide, well known worldwide. Yeah. You look at athletes, it's a little different. A little. You're talking about like you talk about Mike Trout. Mike Trout is very, very popular, United States.
In Anaheim,
probably a little bit probably in Japan, since Japan's very baseball oriented. A little bit maybe in Korea, maybe. Probably not eaten nearly as much, but when you look at that and you compare it to Kobe was so different in the sense that there are not a lot of worldwide athletes. No. There just aren't. Usain Bolt maybe is arguably one of those guys. Michael Phelps maybe a little bit, not to a certain degree, but Kobe was a guy that everyone knew. Everyone. It's just it's so crazy to me that he's so virtually known. Who I want to know.
He's won globally too.
Yeah. I want to know who came up with the take a shot and yell Kobe. I don't know who came up with that, but it's weird how that became a part of all of us.
Mm-hmm. I want to say Chris Rock.
Is it Chris Rock?
But
Because
I don't know.
it's
I mean,
just-
someone correct me because
gotta-
Chris Rock
yeah.
was popular back
It has
then.
to be from entertainment. It
Yeah.
has to be because everybody knows it and nobody knows how they know it. It's
One thing we know is that beer pong will never be the same for sure.
I'm still yelling Kobe. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, 100%. But
I
it's-
shot a sock into my basket last night and yelled Kobe, and I
And
was
then
like,
you have a little
and I
tear.
sunk it, and I was like, sadness.
I've missed 3 Kobe's so far.
I've sunk all of them, dude.
Yeah,
It's a sign.
it
It's an
happens,
honor.
man.
I get
to
hey,
honor him,
hey,
yeah.
KCP started the season like crap, and now he's
He's just got to start
less.
yelling Kobe, man. Yeah, that's all he's got to do.
Ooh,
So,
that would. I don't know how well that would go
I
over,
don't think it would
honestly.
go over
But
very well.
I forgot where I was going with it. But where I was kind of leading to, and I skipped over the thought I was going to have, is one of our comments, Michelle Carter, saying that this is so classy, and we thank you for everybody who has appreciated the fact that we are here doing this the best we can. Michelle says lots of stuff going on in baseball, but we're paying respect to the man who is a Dodgers fan and who is an LA guy, and people may not, people might have forgotten, how much Kobe meant to the Dodgers organization.
Yeah.
He'd been there. He threw out, at least
Couple first pitches.
couple first pitches for
as
sure.
a rookie for sure.
Yep.
Dude's got an arm for
Cannon,
sure.
Cannon.
Just the smile he brings there. Sean Green posted a picture. We'll maybe try to remember to post it on our Blue Heaven Pod or Dodgers Nation Twitters, but. Greeny back in the day posting just a great picture of him and Kobe. Suhu, John Suhu, future Hall of Famer, all the times that he had to be able to cover this guy. You saw Sujo, you see producer Eric, they all had some sort of minor interaction. And even if it was the smallest interaction
I mean, they just
with Kobe.
recorded that video, the
Yeah.
MVP congratulations to Cody. That
Yeah. Even one of our former editors who was over there, Alex Perez, he was talking about how excited they were to post that, and now it's just like immediately. It's just again, that's where we need to start getting back into those layers, the peels of it, where it's just like all the things that are just continue to be so wrong about this, and you still just like, it can't be right, it shouldn't be right, but getting back to the Dodgers, dude, Magic's part owner of the Dodgers. It's like there's all of this connective tissue. This dude was LA, and
today's show's about being an LA citizen. I mean,
That's what
hurting as a LA, as a community. I think that's the thing that we're all. I mean, you look at I'll break it down to stats. 72% of our readership are Laker fans as well.
Yeah.
It's just not everybody's a Laker fan. And it's just that's how it is.
Let's get 100% now into the comments, guys, because we've touched on a lot of them, but I just want to mash through these. We got and we're gonna go back. Hopefully some of you guys are still here with us from the start. We know you're not, but maybe listen to us on the podcast. Subscribe on iTunes. Anyways,
Is Dem and Selena yours? No,
it's
that's another
actual
Selena.
Selena.
Yeah, she said Robin
It's
Williams.
not like mine.
Robin
Robin
Williams
Williams
was a
was
big
one.
one for me too.
Yeah,
I mean
one.
that guy was yeah.
There was sadness, but there wasn't the amount of layers to it. That ogre did not have as many
Onions. That's a good way to put it.
Ding, I'm unplugged over there. But
Frank Talk LA says, seems Kobe spent more time in our living rooms than some family and had a bigger impact than any mentor. So
damn.
Yeah.
that to me was a thing. Dude, I can't tell you how many Laker games I've watched in my life. Talk about high school.
Hold on, I'm late to it.
Like
but
that was,
there you go.
my life in high school was watch the Lakers, watch the Dodgers. That was it. Didn't really watch a lot of football back then. It wasn't really my thing, but Lakers and Dodgers, that's all I did. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I cared about. And you were fortunate enough to grow up in a time where, you're so old.
Yeah, I'm so old.
You got to watch the Lakers on free TV for a long time. That's how I became a Laker fan. That's
Channel
also
9.
coincidentally how I became a Dodger fan
Yeah.
because my family was all Angel fans. And
10,
so we grew
11.
up going to Dodger or to Angel games.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers played on Channel 9 along with the Lakers.
Was it Channel 9?
They
They
played
were on Channel 11.
They were on KCAL for a while.
KCAL,
They were
yeah.
they were on
Channel
11
Channel,
too. But on KCAL you got
Mm-hmm.
to watch the Laker game, and then right after you could watch a Dodger game if it lined up well enough. So that's how I grew up watching. And we talk about this being a Dodgers-based show. Like that's what we are. Obviously, that's what we're all about.
And we do our best to keep it like that, because if we do anything else, people get really pissed at us.
But more than anything,
Some.
and I think, Gary, this is something that you and I have talked about for a long time, is that we are LA. Like, that's what we do. we care about our city, we care about our people, and so that's really what our goal is to express here. So we know that the majority of the people who are on this show and watch are either from LA or have some sort of connection to LA.
We're a community that talks about the Dodgers.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Dodgers that bring us together. It's not a Dodgers site that wants to get readers. It's completely different. Like, that's where you see all the rumors, all that stuff churn out. We really try to think for, represent all the fans and, like, let them have a place to sound off. And I think now we want them to sound off because we all know they're hurting.
Yeah.
So, it's like, like you said, it was kind of hard to decide, should we do this show or not? Because we've been yelled at. I've been yelled at before for talking too much Lakers. But, I mean, this is just too much. I mean, this is Kobe Bryant. He is one of us. He drove the same freeways.
That was kind of the problem.
Well, no. He was in the same roads. He was in the same city. He at the same. He helped us. He helped people. Like everything, the homeless shelters, all that kind of stuff. So he's helped a lot of people here. I think that's the thing that, all the things in the past, he's definitely made up for a lot of it. And he's had a beautiful family, and I think it's just,
that's where we've been.
Yeah.
I feel that we've all been very much walking on eggshells when trying to avoid the family part of it, just because we're trying not to just bring absolute sadness to everybody. We're trying to remember.
You got me like earlier just talking about my daughter. I can't. Like,
there's a great series of comments here from Milksy 25.
Milksy's blowing it up.
I don't know if it's a he or a she, but they say, I live in Boston. Boston is sad. I coach girls hoops, was with my team when the news broke. 11, 13-year-old girls, sadness. The girls were all aware of Gigi as well. And again, we've very briefly touched on that side of it, but the people involved in all of it it's awful. It's horrific. There was a bunch of people that were here, LA based. Obviously, there was the coach of a baseball team. Was it Orange Coast College? There was all the and his young daughter. There was another family. Obviously, I don't have all the names memorized in my head because I'm not sadistic. I feel for these people. It just, again, layers. It never stops. All the people that Kobe was able to touch in some way, but also all the people that this was able to hurt. But still, even beyond this, as Kobe leaves us, this isn't the end of his legacy. It goes on. Even Bron, as he finally found the way to tweet, because apparently you're judged by your ability to tweet about something horrific that directly affects you, possibly one of the most direct connections to it. If you don't tweet about it in a certain amount of period, you're just a bad person, and people are always pretty bad to LeBron. That's how it's always going to be for him.
It's the same level of hate that Kobe got.
Yeah,
it's
for
the
sure.
Same exact hate,
same thing.
But LeBron didn't have to feel any pressure to tweet or post Instagram anything. I appreciate that he did. Yes, he has to carry the torch. Of course he had to. He keep on doing it, and that's what he did. Like, it's amazing what Kobe did. He actually took the torch from Michael Jordan.
He did.
And actually carried it and did a great job.
20 years.
Yeah, and was able to hand it off nicely to LeBron.
Yeah.
Which
just
is great.
in such like a poetic, just a strangely poetic way.
Yeah, Dwight Howard messed everything up. I won't talk about it. It was a great way for him to respond. But I tweeted out something earlier on another account, like, where just wondering who would be the main person to speak at Staples Center for the first game with everybody, the whole crowd there. I mean, it was supposed to be tonight, right?
Yeah.
Thank God they postponed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
100%
God.
right
Such
call.
a great decision.
Any call was going to be the right call, but this was
I saw a lot of people say Kobe would have wanted them to play, and it's like, it's not really about that.
No, it's not that.
No.
Yeah.
It's about these people.
Kobe would tell us all to shut the, F up right now and just, like, get up. Just like, this is just like a Achilles injury for him. Get up. Yeah, he was frustrated after that injury just a little bit, just like we're frustrated right now so much. But the next day he got surgery. The next day he started working back at it. I think eventually the city's going to get back at it.
We'll get back to work.
Yeah, I think
we always do.
That's the legacy he leaves. It's that, don't matter. Just do, like, be great at what you do. you know.
And if you break your hand, shoot with your left.
Exactly. You know,
outwork everybody in the gym.
AJ says something in the comments. He goes, you know, Kobe's not dead because he can't pass.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And he makes sure to point out that humor is his way of grieving. We all have different ways of grieving.
It's not facetious.
However, if you're one of those assholes, way of grieving is to come up in people's mentions and be like, he was just a basketball player. You didn't know him. This is what I have to say to you. You're a pile of crap.
I got a lot of those.
Oh
yeah,
you get those. Yeah,
like what's wrong with people like you're hurting? It doesn't matter if you don't know this person. If you're hurting, like I don't know, I just don't get the troll culture. But
it is. I think I want to tell everybody like ignore that stuff. You know, there's a mute button for a reason. Mm-hmm. You know, and like just know that you deal with it in life and online. Online, they just are cowards, and they have masks,
hiding behind a keyboard and an egg or whatever the hell it is these days.
I've met plenty of people who try to talk stuff on Twitter, and then you meet them in person, and it's just completely different. They just melt away.
It's different. It's way different for sure. I had posted the thing on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, but it was the Kobe with his arm stretched out, and I said, "Gonna tell my kids this was the king of Los Angeles." Yeah. And that one, dude. I mean, for me, like, that's what I felt. Yeah, like that's in that moment. Just this was just a few hours after he had, maybe 12 hours or less after it was announced, and so that's the result of a lot of different emotions. And obviously, in the heat of things like that, you're worried about how people react to things. I think sometimes because stuff like that is so fresh and so raw. But that is 100% what I felt, and to watch, for every 50 good comments that came with it, there was one bad comment. Yeah, and that's okay. That's bound to happen in any setting. It's just the ratio is just there. The stats are just there. But to see how many people were just like, absolutely, 100%, 100%. There's no person. It's really tough for me to say somebody represented a city more than Kobe Bryant did Los Angeles, as big of a city.
Represented or did for? Because there's a big difference. I mean, representing, I think, works really well, because he led by example and people followed that. He was a good leader in that aspect of it. Right. And he influenced a generation with that. Yeah. We'll see what happens with that influence. Like where did he do is in the hands of his fans right now. Right. You have to do something. Yeah. You can't sit there be just talking and wear your jerseys
and just keep saying
mama mentality. Like, get to work. Pick it up and do every little thing that'll make you great.
Guys, I get it. I need to get to the gym.
But I mean, when you think about LA, you think about Kobe. Like that's like such a big part of it. So, King of LA.
Yeah, I saw there's a couple of comments from earlier when we're talking about Kobe, and Enrique Garcia says, "Just missed my first Kobe. Time to practice harder." And then I liked
back to the gym.
Like Zed said, "I'm yelling Gigi."
Gigi.
There you go, ladies.
Gigi is just about like everybody. That potential that she had. She was on that track. Everybody was starting to know her name. You start hearing the buzz. I had some friends in Orange County that were playing the same gym, and like she was a celebrity already.
Oh, she was going to be a game changer.
Oh yeah,
she was
for WNBA.
Crush the WNBA.
Dude, that fadeaway was sick.
You know what? She still will be, because like I said, this isn't the end of the Bryant legacy. There are people. It wasn't just Kobe, doing every little thing. He was writing checks to people, hopefully good people in good places within organizations, within companies that he owned and ran, and they're going to continue the legacy. He
has a great team. He has great advisors.
Shaq said he's going to do everything he can to continue that kind of stuff. You got Braun saying, "I got us down here. Don't worry about it." Yeah, there's going to be people that aren't going to let anything Kobe was about.
Lakers have to go. Lakers have to win a championship this year. I don't want to be selfish, but God damn it, you better win.
There's a lot of weight on LeBron's shoulders right now. Obviously, you see his shoulders. He can hang.
If I had to pick shoulders to put it on, I'm picking his shoulders.
For sure.
He can do this. And with Anthony Davis, they can do this. And this city can do special things, and I think that's the thing that I can't wait to watch. It's not just how, the city reacts, how the Lakers reacts, how the Lakers going to bring happiness back to the fans. That's the thing that's really going to be awesome.
I don't know how emotionally the city's going to handle all that, dude. That was a conversation I've had earlier as well. Is just like, dude, if you have this happen and then win a championship, like there's so many emotions that go along with that. Obviously, you know, it's a cap off, so it's good. So you're gonna end on a high note, and it's gonna carry over all that. Right. But man, the just raw emotions that would flow from that. Like me personally, it was just like I know I'll be on the ground like sobbing.
You know what feeling it's gonna be like? It's like his last game.
Yeah,
that 60-point game where you're like, what the, you know, like that's how it's gonna feel like when LeBron brings it back, you know. And I know in that parade, they're gonna have a special double-decker and a little statue wearing 44.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing that will bring the city back up. You know, this city it's too strong to not get back and come back from this. It's great. We're coming together. We're bonding, and with other people around the world too. But we're gonna be fine. I think once that memorial hits, it's gonna be time to move forward after that. And I can't wait to see what the city does.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how we react, how we turn things around, because I really felt like for me that was going to be the turning point in all this. I had told a lot of people, I was like, it's going to feel really bad and really strange up until the memorial. And I was like, I really think after the memorials where we start living with it, start learning how to live with it, and it's all about how we react to it. It's all about what you do with it now, because it happened and there's nothing that you can do about it. So it's not about this moment, it's about after. How you're going to do with that now and how you're going to live your life after that.
We got Annabella on Facebook saying Kobe is a king forever. We got our boy Raimundo, the Atom Bomb, saying, I'm at the gym right now listening to you guys. Got to work hard. Appreciate you. Put in more work for me because I'm not there. J Roach _909, who's been killing it in the chat. I see you, man. I see my man. He says, I'm not at the gym. I'm eating Bakers with the Mamba mentality. Hashtag IE. Brooke knows what's up.
Yeah, Baker. I just learned like last year because of T that Bakers is only an IE thing. I thought that was a whole. I was like, you guys have never been to Baker's? And they're like, what the hell is Baker's? Yeah, see, nobody knows what Baker's. It's burgers and tacos.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like those weird Carl's Jr.'s that also have the green burrito.
Yeah.
Sorta. That?
It's basically a fast food restaurant that like whenever you deliver all the fast food restaurant to like Jack in the Box, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever's left over, they were like, just send it to Baker's. That's
got
pretty
it.
much
Okay.
what Baker's is.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it.
So beer food. Got it.
We're not sponsored by Baker's, but we're down.
But come to Baker's. That's their tagline.
Yeah. They literally say we're not sponsored by
Baker's.
Baker's
is better than In-N-Out.
Oof. Where's Ron Cervenka? He's about to come shiv somebody.
Oh, I know, seriously. We have to drop Cervenka some like sandwich tips. The Heights in Lincoln Park.
There you go.
I'll give you a shout out for that one. That place is pretty good.
Matthew Camboris, that's how I'm assuming I'm saying it. Sorry if I said it wrong, but on Facebook it says, so glad you guys recorded this pod. Thank you for joining us. We did what we could with it.
Don't unsubscribe because of this.
Yeah.
You know, bad karma.
Yeah. SC Dodger Tim in the house saying nobody has the right to judge how you feel and what you feel. 100%. You know, like if you do you, boo. That sort of thing.
We got Katie that says, got you guys up on the big TV making my mom watch because listening to you guys right now is important to me. Katie, we appreciate that. And Katie's mom, very much appreciate it.
Katie's
Thanks
mom.
for being with us.
What's a good button for Katie? Let's see.
Katie's mom.
Katie's mom, I say.
In your face, sucker!
That's not, yeah.
We're not like that.
All right. Katie's mom is money.
Money.
Yeah.
Katie's mom is coming to next year's party.
Yeah, DN party next year. Katie's
Nice.
mom.
This year.
Be there. This year. Oh, we're 2020.
Yeah, we're 2020.
20 vision, guys.
Yeah.
We got our friends blowing up the chat over there, Get More Sports, saying you guys are the greatest. This show is everything. Thank you, Get More Sports. Check them out. They're good people. I know some of them.
A lot of people. There's one. Jose Rod said I had hoped to run into him at South Coast Plaza. Obviously, he was there a lot.
Island.
I went there on purpose a couple times because just on the off chance that you might run into him, you know, if I'm passing by it 9 times out of 10, I used to stop there and just maybe because I really wanted to meet Kobe. There's a lot of people that I really wanted to meet in my life, but I think the 2 people that I've wanted to meet most of my life were Kobe Bryant and Vin Scully. So I really got to get to Vin, guys. Whoever can make it happen, find a way to get me to Vin.
I know.
Yeah, we'll hopefully.
I just realized I have the most recent comparable to this death, and that was Tony Stark.
Yeah, that one hurt.
And unfortunately, that was real. Wasn't real. That's the word. Those are the words.
In that world, it was real.
Yeah.
So That's something.
We want to know why that hurt? Because we lived with those people for 12 years of our lives.
That's true. You know, last night, I was going to go to the gym last night. Didn't end up going to the gym last night.
Oh, wow. So you could have come to practice.
So no, I actually really hurt my calf, so I'm kind of worried about tomorrow. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna drive to Staples and I'm gonna go.
Oh, you went?
I got in my car. I backed out 5 feet and I stopped and I started crying and I was like, I can't do this. I'm not ready to see his face.
You and Stan need to see each other.
Yeah, probably.
You and Stan, because Stan was just not.
Yeah, because you need to get Stan out of the house.
Stan was just.
In the moment I started backing out, I thought about his face up on that screen, and I was like, I can't do that yet.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't see that because I drive from Corona, so my life sucks. And there's this big billboard that I pass by every day, big electronic billboard, always something new on it every single day. Mm-hmm. And I drove past it on Monday after work, and he was up there, and the dates are underneath, and it was just like, this is such an other out of body strange experience for me to see this. Like this, the best way I've heard it described is this is like a terrible dream that none of us can wake up from, and that's how it feels. Mm-hmm. And seeing it come to reality and starting to plan for his funeral and thinking about things like that, watching Diesel cry up, thinking about him, and you know, it really hits home for sure for me. I know for a lot of you guys, and it's been a weird week. Been a really weird week,
and it's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
I mean, like I said, it didn't hit me as hard as it's hitting you or Stan, but the thing that it makes me reflect on is he left this world a better place than when he came in.
For sure.
That is something that I hope every human being on this earth strives for. You know, and that's what we're gonna try to do, and you know, that's all I want to do is when I die, I can look back and say like, hey. So some people's worlds are a little bit better because of what I did, you know? Sure. And so, man, it just, you know, it just, honestly, it doesn't feel like he's gone.
It doesn't.
Because I don't see him all the time, you know? Yeah. And he's been so, like, just chill lately. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's not there yet. But I think, I would like to say thank you, you know? Yeah.
Jin Rummy says, spoiler alert for the end game. My bad. I forgot to say spoiler alert. It didn't happen. Matthew Kimborst says, I cried 3 times during Endgame. Really cannot blame you there either.
What 3 times? Oh, Black Widow. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
Come on.
Just watch the movie.
This is a Dodgers channel, not a Marvel channel. Not everybody has seen him.
Jose is saying this 2020's got awful already. But you know what? It's only January.
It has the potential to get better.
Or it can get a whole lot worse.
No, it won't get worse than this. It can't get worse than
my
this.
calf hurts already. So
yeah, his calf. That means like we're not going to win tomorrow in softball.
I just need a runner.
I can't run.
I've never needed a runner before in my life.
This is true.
I just hit it over the fence and then I just trot around. But I never get called to go play. You know?
We got Mrs. FRG in the stream saying
where? I don't see her name.
It's damn it, Selena.
That's what I asked.
I know. I
Did you make it for
misunderstood
her?
what you said. No. No, that's her name. But
her first name's Damn It.
Yes.
That's cool.
Anyway, what she points out is, you know, LA is hurting, and all the Dodgers and Lakers wins from here on out are going to be angry wins. Something I think that was Krajewski coined angry wins, right? Or somebody there, Krajewski or Bulldog or Joe
different
Davis.
context, but yeah,
they're going to be because they're going to be. You have something to fight for, really.
You have something to direct your emotions at.
Yeah,
and
LA is on a mission.
Honestly, I think that's the beautiful thing about sports. Mm-hmm. Like, it really is. Like, when you have something happen, when you get angry, when you get sad, whatever it is, you can direct that into your performance. And I think that's such a cool thing because you can't do that with other stuff. You can't, if you're just sitting at home pissed off, you have nothing to direct it at except like a wall that you punch or something like that. With sports, you really get to channel that. And you get to see how it's used. I think about like Jordan in the flu game. Like, big deal. That's a big deal.
That's
like,
a huge deal.
You think about he felt like crap. Like, I'm sure, like, he felt terrible. He probably really didn't want to play, but he was able to channel that into one of the most memorable performances of all time. Sports are so beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Got a nice comment there from our boy Frank Talk LA, who is back all over the internet, and we're appreciative of that. It says, Gary, Clinton, Brooke, you guys certainly bring more good to people you encounter than many. Thank you. We appreciate you, Frank, for saying that.
I
would.
We don't see Frank enough.
You too.
Yeah, no, we got
Frank wants to get. We should get Lucky Boys with Frank pretty soon. He's been hitting me up. We should go.
He hasn't had a breakfast burrito from there yet.
No, he loves it. That's
why
he wants to
go. Let's go.
I was like, yeah, dude, we'll meet up with you.
I need people who can eat Frank. So
this is
who can eat Frank.
Eat Frank. Don't eat
I
Frank.
mean, not like that.
This is a very, very good point from Katie. I know we're getting over on time a little bit, but this has been a good therapy, I think, just for us personally. I hope for you guys too. But she says it's crazy how suddenly the Astros mean nothing to LA fans, and this was something that I reflected on Sunday night. I was like, it's so crazy how in an instant things that were so important to you, so huge in your life, can mean nothing so quickly just based off of one event. We were talking about Mookie coming to LA. We were talking about the Astros cheating and our anger towards that and how annoying it is. And Verlander making stupid remarks about technology when receiving his Cy Young Award.
Read the room.
And just how upset we are about that. And in an instant, it was just like, I don't care. I don't care at all now. I don't give a crap about that.
The dick part of me is like, I'm so glad. I'm like, not so glad, but like, the Astros, if something happened right now, or in the future, they're going to die knowing that they were cheaters. Let that sink in. Kobe died a champion. Died somebody who changed a city. He died being an amazing father. He died helping so many people around the world.
That's his legacy.
That's his legacy, right?
Yeah.
And the Astros now, you look at it on the flip side, Astros, whoever's involved in this stuff, you will die with a cheating reputation. And that's what you sold to the devil in order to get your damn ring.
No,
and look,
really.
I don't care. Like, I will tell them even when they're dying. Like, that's what you get. And that's a choice you make. And we're so mad about it because we would never do that because we know our legacy in the future. You think about it, I don't know.
I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna be like, those Astros, you will die, and then that's gonna be the quote. That's gonna be your that's gonna be your new ringtone in my phone right there. Yeah. But I don't want to let the Astros off the hook. We don't want to
let it off the hook.
We said we were going to be done, but you know what? No, we're not done being angry at them because I do want to point out the fact that their cheating ways robbed Kobe Bean Bryant of seeing a Dodgers championship in his lifetime. Well, not in his lifetime, in his time in LA. So there you go. That's a thing. It's a reach.
Yeah,
but still,
slight reach. But yeah, he was there.
It's not inaccurate.
He was there for 2018. I mean, it just
We got Michelle Carter saying he died a hero and F the Astros. By the way, Dusty Baker, I love Dusty Baker going to the Astros because he gonna whoop some ass.
He just walks in and breaks a bat over Altuve.
Dude, that meme that
why don't you get taller? Oh yeah, the meme.
That was hilarious today. I was just dying.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So,
if we're staying loose, I think loose in our connectivity here. Kobe, this was less than 2 weeks ago or something like that. I think this was on the 15th. Kobe was asked about, kind of LA and the Dodgers and the sign stealing and all that. It again, loosely connected, but I feel that at the end of it, the ultimate message is the ultimate message will be received by all of us. Let's see how this plays out. I think it'll work.
Well, I mean, as a competitive person,
oh my
the thing
God,
that I do is look forward. You can't change things that were. You can't change the outcome. What you can do is control what you can control, which is your performance, which is how well you hit the ball, which is how well you pitch the ball, which is how well you defend. I think it's important for them to focus on that and try to bring a World Series back to Los Angeles.
You can understand, though, how angry the fans are here about...
Oh, I'm sure. But you got to move ahead. You got to look ahead, and you got to focus on the upcoming season and focus on trying to get a championship back here. Because if you don't, it's just going to divert energy away from trying to accomplish that goal. And something from the past is weighing you down so much, it deters the energy from moving forward and accomplishing that ultimate goal.
Right.
So the underlying goal, the overlying goal or message there is you focus up and you control what you can control from here on.
Hey, yo, this city is a city of immigrants. We already know about that. You're going to get cheated out of something, a promotion or a job opportunity, and you're going to feel that. And, this city is a bunch of immigrants who know that you have to fight through this stuff. So I think, if any fan base is ready to get through this stuff with cheating and stuff, go for it. But right now, look, I just can't right now. For those people trying to make merchandise right now and saying that it's a freaking Kobe-inspired Spirit jersey, it's total garbage. It's Tuesday, and you're already selling like $70 things. You gotta be kidding me right now. I mean, Nike took down all their stuff today.
I know. Yep.
And then we got people out here selling. You're selling garbage. You're selling this garbage right now. Swipe up to purchase. This is garbage, man. Whatever. They gotta make their money. Gotta pay back those tickets.
Dude, profiting off of tragedy historically does not go very well. Does not go very well. Gary, me and you had talked
grave
about
robbers.
We talked about it on Sunday where it was like, I've had my Kobe's put away for a while now, and I was like, I'm wearing them. Like, I don't intend to ever sell these. I don't intend to ever make money off of these in my entire life.
Yeah.
These are mine, and this is how I honor Kobe. Like, I'm wearing them out. Wore them to church.
I got my.
They were awesome. I was so stoked
yeah.
about them, dude. And you talked about putting my Kobe's on today.
Yep.
And I was like, that's the way to do it, man. That's the way to honor him, not freaking selling crap to make money.
Well, before you all get too heated and get us in trouble, I guess that's about the jumping off point here for today's show. We hope we helped you guys in some way. I hope this all helped us in some way. Again, one of the big reasons why we didn't want to originally do this, outside of our own being in our own fields, for both realistic life reasons and our own selfish reasons, was because there was a Laker game scheduled tonight, and there was no way in hell, no way, shape, or form we were ever going to take away from anything. Not that we would or could take away from people watching the game. I mean, unless you don't have Time Warner, but still. Of course, that probably also would have been nationally televised, but still, we weren't going to take away from that. But we also, I figured, the way I looked at that game, it was going to be an opportunity for people to kind of start moving forward, to have a healing process. That's going to be your next phase of incessant bawling over losing a superhero, if that's how you see him, losing an icon, losing somebody that just meant so much to so many people, including us, in a weird variety of ways, because that's just what Kobe did. But we did this, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. We will do our best to be back to regularly scheduled programming soon enough. Dodgers will be back very soon, 3 weeks or less from spring training, from pitchers and catchers, which will be the happiest time. And we know the Dodgers are going to do something to honor Bean. It's going to happen, and that's going to be an incredible day. And hopefully there aren't assholes trying to take advantage and hawk the tickets to that or whatever the hell it may be. Be fair to each other. Be nice to each other with that kind of stuff. Again, this isn't about money. This is about the love and the family, and it's about the game, man. It's about the game. It's about balling up. So we cheers you all, whatever's left in our cups. And we also have a giveaway going on. Go check out our giveaway. Like, bad segue with that. But we also will have some new content for you guys this week. Brooke and I earlier spoke with Dodgers hitting coach Brant Brown about the upcoming season. So if you want Dodgers content, please do subscribe to our show. We are the Blue Heaven Podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher Radio, everywhere podcasts are sold for free, because that's how we roll. We're also on the internet at DodgersNation.com, and we're bringing you everything we can with everything related to a Dodgers player saying anything of merit. That's the end of my spiel.
Yep. You can find me at BrookMe3 on Twitter. You can find this guy at RealFRG on Twitter. We'll be talking a lot of sports just in general and talking through a lot of emotions. Mr. Gary Lee along with you as well.
Yep.
We want to thank you guys for being along with us. I had one final thought before we quickly sign off, and these are just kind of raw emotions and reactions, and so I wrote them down in hopes of reading them over and over and over again so that I would not become emotional when reading them. But this is how I felt, and this is something that I felt like I needed to put out there. So I wrote it down for you guys. Kobe Bean Bryant embodied everything that I personally love about Los Angeles. He was kind, he was driven, and he was born to be a champion. A 6'6" guard from Lower Merion High School in a city full of some of the brightest stars in the world, he somehow found a way to shine above all others. He brought us 5 championships, 15 All-Star Game appearances, 4 All-Star Game MVP awards, 2 gold medals, 2 MVP finals, 2 finals MVP awards, and a season MVP award. And of course, he somehow found a way to win an Academy Award in the process. He hit clutch shots, buzzer beaters, fueled epic comebacks, made some of the most athletic plays that you'll ever see in your entire life, and constantly reminded us that greatness is attainable if you're willing to put in the work for it. He showed us that even the worst injuries and biggest failures on the biggest stages in life could serve as an inspiration to millions. But I think, above all else, Kobe, in his life following his playing career, was probably the biggest source of inspiration to so many. Watching him evolve from an 18-year-old phenom into an incredibly loving father of 4 has been personally one of my favorite parts of following his career. Like so many before me have already said, he died doing what he loved, being a father, loving Gigi, and doing everything he could to be the best dad that he could be, something that I can only hope for. My only hope is that Kobe and his family knew how much this city loved him and appreciated him, all that he and his family have done for us. We're forever in his doubt, and we'll never forget him. You'll always be Los Angeles' favorite son, and there will never be another Kobe Bean Bryant. Thank you, guys.